To reach the components, we first remove the bottom cover by undoing 10 screws. The first screw is captive, and it helps create a small gap to start unclipping the cover. We'll loosen the second screw first so the cover doesn't get pressed down while we work on the captive one. Now we loosen the first captive screw. And here's how that captive screw slightly lifts the cover. Next, we remove the rest of the screws around the bottom plate. The 3 screws we removed so far are shorter than the others. We're using a JIS number 1 screwdriver. That's all the screws. Everything is loosened. And the captive screw stays attached to the bottom cover. Now we unclip the bottom cover using a thin plastic pry tool. Keep the tool shallow, don't slide it inward so you don't hit the motherboard or cables. Done. The bottom cover is off. First, we disconnect the battery by sliding the small locking tab sideways. Then we lift the battery connector straight up to unplug it. Now we undo the battery screws and remove the pack. This is a 3-cell battery, advertised as 63 watt-hours and labeled about 62 watt-hours rated. You can check the result of our battery life test on laptopmedia.com. And don't forget to visit our top 100 laptops with the best battery life ranking page. We'll pop out one RAM stick for the camera without peeling the metallic tape, which also acts as an EMI and RFI shield. There are two DDR5 SO-DIMM slots here, officially rated up to 32 gigs, and our unit has a 16 gig SK Hynix SO-DIMM 5600 module. Now we reinstall the RAM stick back into its slot. Next up is the SSD. This laptop has one M.2 2280 slot wired for NVMe, PCI Express 4x4, and ASUS lists 512 gigs or 1 terabyte PCI Express 4 storage options. Our installed drive here is a Micron NVMe model. And now we reinstall the SSD back into the slot. Here's the Wi-Fi module with Bluetooth, an Azure Wave AWXB547NF, a Wi-Fi 6 card with Bluetooth 5.3. Next, a quick look at the cooling system. Under this section sits the dedicated GPU. And under this section is the CPU. The system uses 2 fans and multiple copper heat pipes to move heat into the heat sinks. Here's a look at the heat sinks and exhaust fins near the back. Finally, a quick look at the touchpad assembly from the inside. And here are the stereo speakers along the bottom edge. That's a complete internal tour of the ASUS V3607, battery, upgrade options, and the full cooling layout.